Hey everyone, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the topic about when you're the only one fighting for your marriage. So I'm just going to jump right into this. Let's take a look at what's happening in this sort of situation. So if if you feel like this is you, like you're the only one fighting for your marriage, likely you're in a situation where you're unsure how to fix things. So your spouse has either told you that they don't want to go to counseling, they don't want to work on the marriage, or they're just simply done. So let's try to understand this just for a moment. Why would a person who at one point was madly in love with you not want to save their marriage with you? So there are a couple likely reasons for this. There's either been one, a gradual decay of connection, trust, security, friendship, just in general, gradual decay of the relationship. Or there's been a sudden event that caused them to lose hope in the marriage. Now, really though, when we think about it, it's really just the first reason that there's been a gradual decay. Those sudden affairs, sudden distance, sudden lack of connection, sudden loss of friendship, they don't suddenly happen. They're a result of enough disappointment, enough heartache, enough pain built up to the point of action. Now, what I'm saying is that if a marriage has gotten to the point where one spouse doesn't want to improve the relationship, it's a huge red flag that something is wrong. And I'd like to tell you, though, that even with all this, it doesn't take two to save a marriage. Divorce also doesn't mean that it's the end. Separation doesn't mean that it's the end. You can still save things. So, how do you go about saving your marriage alone? First, I'm going to give you a few suggestions. So first, you have to decide to save your marriage. And you might be telling me, okay, I already decided to save my marriage, and then you list some excuses. But my husband or wife isn't willing, but it's too much work, but we don't have money for help, or we don't have time. Um, these are excuses, and if you find yourself coming up with excuses, then you really haven't decided to save your marriage. Two, the second thing is you need to work on yourself. And this might seem counterintuitive, but you will perform better, think more clearly, and be more attractive to your spouse if you can keep your stress, anger, and anxiety down. When you are your best person, you're at your most likely to be able to influence your spouse, help them out, help them to be more attracted and more willing to work on that relationship. And another suggestion though is to not force your partner into working on the marriage right now. They've built some walls up to protect themselves, and if you tear down those walls, then you're leaving them without that protection, and I'm going to be honest, they're not going to react well to that. So, like I said, you need to decide to save your marriage, you need to work on yourself, you need to not force your partner into working on things right now. Now, these are just a few suggestions to start things off, and honestly, this is an incomplete list. If your spouse has decided to check out, then it's a complicated task to rebuild that relationship, and you need specific guidance guided to your situation. You need to learn how to attract your spouse again, help them to tear down their own walls, how to rebuild that connection that you guys used to have. So some of you might say, okay, why is this all on me? Why is it up to me to save the marriage? Haven't I done enough? And sometimes I feel like I have to be a little bit blunt, a little bit straightforward with things. And it doesn't mean that I don't care. I'm trying to help. But when I hear that, when people say, okay, why is this all on me? Haven't I done enough? It tells me that you're not ready to save your marriage. It tells me that you're playing the role of a victim, that you're not taking charge of your own life, or that you're waiting for someone else to fix things for you. And once again, I apologize for saying this, but waiting and wondering if your spouse will come around and fix things If you do that, it's going to result in your relationship to continue to decay, and it's going to make things more difficult later on. So I say that with complete love for you, wanting you to have the best relationship that you possibly can. But if you're saying that, okay, why should I have to do this? Why can't they save the relationship? Or why shouldn't they work on things too? Those are more excuses to not getting things done, to not fixing the relationship now. You are in charge. You're in charge of your own life, and you're in charge of your own happiness. If you want your relationship to work, please go out and do it, and get some help. We're here to help you. We're here to help you to have an amazing marriage. Please, please talk with me or Heather if you need that help. Let us know what's going on. We know how to fix broken relationships. We even have a specialized program which is heavily discounted right now. A specialized program to save your marriage that's heavily discounted just for the next few more days. We can teach you how to be in love again. We can teach you how to bridge that gap between you and your spouse. Even if right now you can hardly even speak to each other, I guarantee you that that can be fixed. You can be in love again. You can actually want to be around each other. Look forward to those times that you have together. So please contact us. We want to help you. No one else is going to care more about your marriage than yourself. And after that, hopefully your spouse, but after that, it would be us. We want you to have a happy relationship. Thank you for watching. I hope that helped. Please let me know if you have any questions.